Let's go Ravens! Something big is brewing in Baltimore, and it's not just about the players on the field. Behind the scenes, a bold, risky, and potentially game-changing move is unfolding. We're talking about a coaching overhaul that could either catapult the Ravens into a new era of dominance or backfire in ways fans aren't ready for. Who's really calling the shots? Why are so many unproven names being trusted with the most important jobs in the building? And how does this all tie back to Lamar Jackson's future with the team? But before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button if you're a real Ravens fan. It's always incredible to see the flock standing strong, and if you're fired up for this season like we are, drop a comment below that says, "Go Ravens!" Let's flood the feed with purple pride. Now, let's get into the real story. The Baltimore Ravens have just about finalized their 2026 coaching staff, and there's no sugarcoating it. This is one of the boldest, most calculated staffs we've seen in years. At the center of this aggressive new era is first-year head coach Jesse Minter, a defensive mind who isn't just here to manage the sidelines, he's calling plays. He's taking ownership of this defense, and his vision is already reshaping the DNA of the team. This entire coaching overhaul isn't just about filling positions, it's about balance. It's about blending youth with experience, risk with stability, and fresh college concepts with tried and true NFL philosophy. Let's start with the quarterback's coach. After moving on from T. Martin, the Ravens hired Israel Woolfolk, a lesser-known name to many, but someone who's quietly built a strong resume over the last decade. Woolfolk has had stops at Miami, Ohio, a stint in the NFL coaching pipeline with the Cleveland Browns, and most recently was Kyler Murray's QB coach with the Arizona Cardinals from 2023 to 2025. This move raised some eyebrows, not because Woolfolk isn't capable, but because he doesn't have deep ties to mentor or offensive coordinator Declan Doyle. That's rare on this staff. Woolfolk is a bit of a wild card, a name to watch closely as he now steps into the pressure cooker that is mentoring Lamar Jackson. That's where the Ravens' strategy really kicks in. Recognizing that both Doyle and Woolfolk are on the younger, less tested side, Baltimore stacked the deck with veteran offensive minds to provide immediate support and stability. Enter Marcus Brady and Joe Lombardi, two heavyweight names with years of quarterback and play-calling experience. Brady, now the team's pass game coordinator, was a longtime CFL quarterback before jumping to the NFL in 2018 with the Colts. He worked his way up to offensive coordinator in Indy, and recently worked with the Eagles and Chargers in senior offensive roles. His connection with Jesse Minter comes straight out of Los Angeles. They were both with the Chargers, and that pre-existing trust was key to this hire. Meanwhile, Joe Lombardi, the seasoned vet with years under Sean Payton in New Orleans and Denver, brings deep institutional knowledge of the West Coast offense. This is a huge win for Declan Doyle, who will call plays for the first time. Having someone like Lombardi in the room gives the young OC a safety net, someone who's seen it all and can help sculpt the offense into something truly competitive at the NFL level. And speaking of sculpting this offense, tight ends coach Zach Grossi is another key piece. Grossi comes with direct ties to Lombardi and Doyle, having worked with both in Denver. He was Peyton's pass game specialist and served as offensive coordinator at Southern University. That common language, that continuity in offensive philosophy, it matters. It shows Baltimore's commitment to building something coherent, not just assembling random names. Defensively, Jesse Minter is building a monster. He's not shy about hiring from the college ranks. In fact, he's embracing it. 5 of the new defensive coaches come straight from college programs. That includes Lou Esposito, the new defensive line coach who was with Michigan last year. While Esposito doesn't have NFL experience, he's teaming up with Anthony Weaver, a former Ravens D-line coach turned defensive coordinator. That pairing again shows Minter's intent, match college innovation with NFL expertise. The outside linebackers room is now led by Harlan Bauer, who comes over from Duke. Before that, he worked at Texas A&M, where he overlapped with Ravens inside linebackers coach Tyler Santucci. Bauer has coached at Notre Dame, South Alabama, and several other programs. This is a guy who's hungry, young, and looking to bring energy and new ideas to Baltimore's edge unit. Again, a college hire, but one that is balanced by experience across the rest of the defensive staff. Patrick Kramer joins as a quality control coach after 5 years with the Falcons, where he worked with Ravens offensive line coach Dwayne Ledford and assistant OL coach Sean Flaherty. Meanwhile, Jesse Minter's father, Rick Minter, has officially joined the Ravens as a defensive consultant. This is a big deal. Rick is a football lifer with decades of experience, and he's been by Jesse's side at Michigan and with the Chargers. His mentorship and wisdom will be vital as this staff comes together. And then there's the biggest headline looming over all of this, the upcoming Lamar Jackson extension. All eyes are now on Eric DeCosta and Lamar's camp. The general expectation is that this deal gets hammered out soon, likely before the start of free agency. And it has to. Lamar's current cap hit is suffocating the Ravens' flexibility. A new extension could unlock much-needed cap space, open up room for free agent signings, and allow the team to start locking in key pieces like Tyler Linderbaum, Isaiah Likely, and potentially Draymond Jones. But here's the real question. Will the new extension come with long-term security that avoids this kind of renegotiation cycle every 2 or 3 years? The Ravens need stability at the top, both on the field and financially. Let's pick up right where we left off. While all eyes are on Lamar Jackson's extension, and rightfully so, what's flying under the radar is just how drastically this Ravens team is shifting in terms of culture, structure, and internal expectations. And that's what makes this offseason feel different. It's not just business as usual. For the first time in years, the Baltimore Ravens are fully committing to a defensive-minded identity, but with a modern twist. Jesse Minter is taking a page directly out of Mike Macdonald's playbook, literally and figuratively. After watching Macdonald's Seattle Seahawks win Super Bowl 60 with suffocating defense and smart game management, there's a quiet belief in the building that the Ravens are building something in that exact mold. And that belief? It's not built on hype. It's built on calculated coaching decisions. Jesse Minter is not just inheriting a good defense. He's doubling down. He's adding layers. The new hires on that side of the ball, Esposito, Bauer, Mike Mickens, P.J. Volker, and Miles Taylor, represent the next wave of aggressive, idea-driven coaches. These aren't placeholder names. These are coaches who want to push the boundaries, and when you combine their hunger with Minter's structure and Anthony Weaver's NFL-proven leadership, you've got a machine being built piece by piece. Let's not forget, Weaver is no stranger to Baltimore. This is a man who knows the Ravens' DNA, who understands what kind of defense this city demands. Having Weaver as the defensive coordinator while Minter calls plays creates a two-headed monster on the sideline. Add Rick Minter into that equation with his decades of football experience, and you're looking at a brain trust capable of game planning against any offense in the league. Now, flipping back to the offensive side of the ball, things get even more interesting. Declan Doyle, the new offensive coordinator, is young. He's never called plays before. That would normally be a red flag, but the way the Ravens have structured this staff around him almost feels like a mentorship pod. Lombardi, Brady, and Grossi all come from the Sean Payton coaching tree, a tree known for its offensive efficiency, quarterback development, and detailed passing concepts. That shared background allows for a smoother implementation of scheme. You're going to see a more traditional West Coast style offense, with more zone running and precise timing routes. And with Lamar Jackson under center, that could be deadly, if done right. And that's where Israel Woolfolk comes back into focus. It's easy to overlook the quarterback coach in all of this. But Woolfolk now holds one of the most important jobs in Baltimore, keeping Lamar grounded, sharp, and synced up with Doyle's new play-calling rhythm. Let's be honest, Woolfolk's lack of NFL experience makes this a risky hire. But if he can connect with Lamar on a personal and professional level, if he can be that bridge between scheme and execution, this offense has the potential to take a major leap forward, especially when you look at the tight ends and the running game, which are about to become central pillars of the attack. And don't forget, behind all these coaches and scheme tweaks, there's a front office working behind the scenes trying to balance contracts, free agency, and internal re-signings. That brings us right back to the importance of Lamar's extension. As of now, Lamar Jackson holds one of the highest cap hits in NFL history, somewhere in the $74 million range. That figure is unsustainable. Restructuring and extending him would instantly free up millions in cap space, giving the Ravens the flexibility to go after veteran free agents, retain homegrown talent, and possibly make 1 or 2 surprise signings that could flip the balance of power in the AFC. This isn't just about keeping Lamar happy. It's about unleashing the full potential of the roster. You can't do that when your franchise quarterback's cap number is weighing down the budget like an anchor. Fans should also take note. This new extension is expected to be massive. Lamar's already the highest paid quarterback in NFL history, and this new deal will likely keep that title intact. But the structure is what matters. Expect the Ravens to front-load signing bonuses, create wiggle room in the early years, and avoid having to renegotiate 2 years down the line again. There's also a long-term vision at play here. You don't retool your entire coaching staff, especially on offense, unless you plan to keep your quarterback around for the